All right, we're starting. Hey everybody, this is General von Hoffman, live today from Building 509 in CMXG. And one of the things that I've been out and visiting some of you, but can't get to all of you. But I know that there's a lot of questions out here. So Ms. Julie Trujillo has graciously volunteered. She's team council president for CMXG, and she's graciously volunteered to bring some questions up from all of you all out in the workforce. And so with that, we're doing our best for social distancing here. So we're going to go back. I'm going to hand her or let her speak into the microphone, not hand it to her, and see how this goes. Appreciate everybody listening in.
Thank you. I do have a couple questions for you today from the workforce. The first question is two-part. How is telework being determined? And if telework is not an option, how are employees being impacted by not being able to telework?
Right, so thanks. I've gotten that question a couple of times. So telework's being implemented for everybody out there by whether or not you can do your job with access to your systems. If you're able to do that from home, we've encouraged to the max extent telework. I will say we are experiencing trouble with that. I would say if I had to put a number on it, I'd say we're about 50% effective with the number of people who can actually do their work from home. We are struggling with it, but we're pressing on. But because of the nature of our operation, because we have so much production going on, there's a tremendous amount of people, and most of CMXG, for example, cannot telework. So what we're doing for them is doing the absolute best we can to protect them. The whole reason for telework was to get as many people out of the workplaces as we could. For those that can't, Mr. Payton and the squadron directors have worked with staggering shifts and putting people on, some folks that were on day shift on swings, just to get folks spread out and have less people in the workplace. Another thing that we're doing is staggering breaks so people aren't going into the common areas. We're working with the civil engineering group that manages the contract for cleaning, the facility cleanings, and trying to take the people that do that cleaning out of low priority spaces. So now that we have people teleworking, we don't need those bathrooms cleaned as much in 849, for example. Right. So shifting those resources out here to clean high traffic areas more often. And what's important is that we are evaluating this day by day. What's the answer today may not be the answer 48 hours from now, right, based on what public health officials and the installation commander has determined. So that's what we're trying to the max extent possible. We're trying to keep social distancing, people out of high traffic areas to the max extent we can, and at the same time, we still have a mission to do. Yeah, another question.
Yes, thank you. So what happens if the cities or the counties or the state decides to shut down and quarantine? What is your plan of action at that time?
Okay, great. So again, we are the base is totally tracking everything, both within our local communities. We are closely following what the counties are doing, but then also what the state proclamations are from the governor's office. The bottom line is, for our depot, it doesn't change much. Nearly every single person in this depot has been deemed what we call mission essential, which means we can't do the mission without you. And we have direction from all the way from the Office of Secretary of Defense that we need to continue our mission. And so that's what we're going to do. Our warfighters still need us to turn out aircraft. They still need us to turn out components. Global Strike Command still needs us to do the work on their launch control facilities, launch control centers and launch facilities. So we're going to still have to do that. We evaluate that, just like I said just a second ago, though, every day we're looking at that. Health of the workforce is most important, but as long as we can continue to do our mission, we will. And state proclamations aside, we're still mission essential.
Thank you. That's a tough call.
It is.
My third and final question is, how are we utilizing the weather safety pay, and how is that being utilized throughout the workforce?
Okay, so are you talking about? I think she's talking about admin leave. So
yes,
weather and safety admin leave. Okay, so what we've done right now is there was guidance that came out to us that said if somebody is in a high risk category as defined by the CDC, Center for Disease Control, that if they have documentation from a public health official or a medical provider, that we can put them on admin leave in the weather safety category. Having said that, those folks are still mission essential. The potential is, as we go forward, if there were shops that had 100 weather safety leave, that some of them could have to come back in, just depending on the mission and what we needed to do. Right now, we're implementing that. That's gone out. The squadron directors are managing that as we go. But we want to balance. We got to make sure that those folks that fall into that high risk category aren't coming in and aren't susceptible here of transmission. I would say, though, for everybody that ends up on that admin leave for weather and safety, make sure that you're staying at home. That doesn't mean that you're on admin leave and that you're shopping at Costco or somewhere else like that. It is truly for your safety, so that applies at home as well as here.
Right.
Does that help?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
great.
you. I appreciate you taking the time today.
So I'm gonna give you some time too. I want to say thank you so much for being a council president, but also for getting out and canvassing, and thank you for your people that are bringing those questions to you. And so, do you have anything that you want to say to the rest of the group as a council president?
I want to express my appreciation to you. I appreciate your support for the team councils, not just CMXG, but for all of the councils. That means a lot to us to have your support behind us. We are trying to build and bridge that communication gap, and so that is our mission, is to enhance communication among the workforce. So I truly appreciate your support and your time today to speak with me.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. And I'll say for all the folks out in CMXG, please continue to use the team council. It's a super thing. I am listening to them. I'm not just listening to the presidents. I'm listening to all the council members. And if you want something to come straight to me, that's just another avenue you have. So thanks very much for everybody listening.
Okay, thank you for all you do. This is now over to OB, and CMXG's out. Thank you.